Let me know if you could see my screen.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, thank you so much. So, good evening, everyone. The topic for today's web development session is Bootstrap using Grid and Plex. Talking about myself, my name is Rimjim. I work as a cloud engineer at LNT Pune. Let's move ahead with the agenda part. So in today's web development session, I'll be covering Bootstrap, and also like I'll cover some labs using Grid and Flex, and then I'll just give a brief introduction about how do we include Bootstrap CDNs, and then how do we import CDNs in our website from the official Bootstrap page, and then how do we include containers, and then using links, tables, images using Grid and Flex. So let me just move ahead with the introduction part. So, class, like, why do we use Bootstrap? So, the reason why we use Bootstrap in our websites is to make it more responsive and to align it with different things. For example, if I'm using a particular website, say for example Flipkart, so the alignment we see in phone, or the alignment we see in a bigger screen or tablets or laptops. So the alignment and the length, all those things which we see in Flipkart website, in all those four things, phones, tablets, and all those things, it's actually same. So how do we achieve the task of having all those images, and then having a website in a similar fashion in everywhere where we see? So all those tasks are achieved by Bootstrap. So Bootstrap is the most popular CSS framework for developing responsive and mobile first websites, and Bootstrap 5 is the newest version we are having. And then depending on the compatibility, we can also use b3, b4, and then there are other versions also, like 3.1, 3.2, 4.1, and all those things. And Bootstrap is free front end framework for faster and easier web development. So for example, if I want to include Bootstrap in a program, I can just download it from the Bootstrap official website, or I can just include the CDNs, and then I can import the CDNs available on the website, and then I can just use it in a notepad. Okay, Bootstrap includes HTML and CSS based design templates for typography, forms, buttons, etc., and many others. And also, class, like, there are plugins available on the Bootstrap pages. For example, I can include a CDN for JavaScript with Popper to have a JavaScript program embedded with Bootstrap. And then Bootstrap also gives you the ability to easily create responsive designs. Okay, so for example, why do we use Bootstrap is, so for example, you're having a normal HTML page. So for example, if we have two three images, so like the way we see in phone and the way we see that the same HTML program in a phone or in a tablet, so the alignment and the padding which we see, it actually differs. Some images might overlap on each other, or for example, if you have placed an image on the right and there are three images here, so all the images might overlap each other. So in today's session, what I'll do is I'll write a program, and then also I'll try to inspect that particular program which I'm running, and then I'll show you how how the program visibility is same in all the things. For example, if I view a particular program in a bigger screen or in a smaller screen, or if I view a program in Samsung 12 Pro or Redmi Mi Note 10 Pro, the visibility should always be same. It should always appear in a similar fashion in all the things wherever you are viewing or your website. Okay, so let me just, so why do we use Bootstrap? So it is easy to use. Anybody with just a basic knowledge of HTML and CSS can start using Bootstrap. It is responsive, like CSS adjusts to phones, tablets, and desktops, as I told you. Okay, and mobile first approach in Bootstrap. Mobile first styles are part of the core framework. It is having a browser compatibility. So Bootstrap 5 is compatible with all the modern browsers. Like, I can run my Bootstrap program in Chrome, Firefox, Edge, Safari, Opera. In any of the browsers, I can just run my Bootstrap program. It is compatible. But if you need support for IE11 and down, you like, we must either use BS4 or BS3. There are a lot of versions available, class. Like, in BS4 also we have more than like 10 versions. In BS3 also we have versions. So whatever your laptop supports, or whatever browser compatibility you're having, you can download that, or we can, I'll just show you how do we import the website, how do we import the CDNs from the official website. I hope this is clear, class. Everybody is having a clear knowledge of what Bootstrap is and why do we use it. And then, by any chance, if my pace is fast or if there's any doubts, you can stop me in between. I'll be happy to help you. So class, as I told you, like to get Bootstrap, it is very easily available. I can just include my Bootstrap 5 from a CDN, or I can download it from getbootstrap.com. So let me just show you how do we import a CDN. So I have to go on Google and then type Bootstrap. And then the first thing which we get, for example, this is getbootstrap.com. So I have to open it. And then what I have to do is either I can download it, I can download Bootstrap from here according to my version. From here I can download, or what I have to, and I can also select the versions, like for example 2.3.2, or I can just show you the versions available. I can download any of the versions which are available on the official websites, and it is easily downloadable. Okay, I can download v3x, 3.4, 3.3, 2.3.2. All these versions are available on the official website. Either I can download it from here. I'll just paste the link in the chat box. Either you can download the version from here, or else what we have to do is we have to go back. Or else, if I want to include Bootstrap in a simple notepad, what I have to do is I have to copy this CDNs available. Okay, so I'll copy this particular CDN whenever I'm running my programs. I have to copy this CDN, and this CDN is mainly for CSS. Before all of the style sheets to load our CSS. Okay, so this is for CSS, for JavaScript, and for Popper. I have to include this bundle. For example, this is mainly to include Bootstrap plugin for bootstrap.bundle.js. If I want this plugin, so I have to include this particular um, CDN. For separate, I can include this CDNs. I can also, I'll just show you, including all the CDS available on this website, how my program will look. Okay, but if I want to use grid flex, or anything, if I, even if I want to simply write a Bootstrap program, I have to use the CDNs which are available on the official website. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll copy, and then whenever I'm writing my program using grid and flex, I'll just show you how it looks. Okay, I hope this is clear. So this is what, there are two ways to start using Bootstrap 5 on your own website. You can include Bootstrap 5 from a CDN. As I showed you here, we have to just copy the links available, or I can download Bootstrap 5 from getbootstrap.com. There are a lot of versions available, depending on the browser compatibility we are having. We can download any of them. Okay, so these are the two CDNs available as I showed you. This is for CSS, and this is for JavaScript. Okay, so let me just move ahead. So class, like we all know, in other programming languages also we have, like for example, we have functions in C. So why do we use a function? Is to make our program look a bit aligned, or to use those, like to use a particular function. Like if I'm writing a function in at one place, I can just call it anywhere. So similarly in Bootstrap we have containers. So why do we use containers? Is like these are the most basic elements in Bootstrap and are required when I'm using default grid system. So for example, whenever I'm using grid or flex, I'll be using containers to make my program, or to give it a alignment, and to just align my program, I'll be using containers today. And like the keyword for containers is like I have to declare a class, and then I have to use the keyword container. Whenever I want to write a container, whenever I want to use a container in my grid program or in my flex program, I have to use the keyword containers. Okay, so the container class is one of the most important Bootstrap classes. It provides margins, padding, alignments, and more HTML elements. Okay, so why, like the reason behind using a containers is class, to give a good layout or to give a good alignment and padding to my programs, we use containers. Okay, and then the next topic, and the most important topic in Bootstrap, is grid. So why do I use grid? Is like, so for example, what happens is, if, like as I told you, like for example, if I'm having three images. Okay, so if I want to display three images using a normal HTML program, so if we see the alignment and responsiveness in different places of, so if I'm seeing my particular image, or if I'm seeing my particular website, or my, if I'm seeing my particular program, normal HTML program which I'm writing um, at different places. So at some, in my phone, if my phone screen is a bit small, so what will happen is it will overlap to each other. The alignment and all those things would differ. So to make it intact and to make it look similar at all the places, I'll be using grid. So Bootstrap grid is used for layout, specifically responsive layouts, and grid is used for grouping of rows and columns. And Bootstrap grid system allows us to use up to 12 columns across this page. And if I want to use And if you do not want to use 12 columns individually, you can group the columns together to create a wider column. Okay. So the concept of grid here class is whenever I'm using grid, I have to make sure that the total column count should always be 12. So for example, what 12 here is, so what I mean when I'm saying 12 columns is, so for example, whenever I'm writing my grid programs, I have to make sure that I'm using rows and columns. Okay, as I can see in this image, so there are 12 columns whenever I'm writing my program. I'll just show you uh, the this also. So for example, this is my entire screen. Okay, so this is my entire screen, and how do I display my images? I'll be dividing into 12 sections: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, but it is equal, so this is not equal, like the image which I have drawn here, so it will be equal. So like this would be my span 1, this would be my span 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And if I want to display an image which have to be in 4 columns, so what I'll do is my call count would there be 4. Okay, and then if I want to display another image at the same position, so therein so my next column count would be 4. So again I'll be including 4. So from here to here it will be 4, and then again it from here to here it will be 4, 8, and then the remaining would be 4. So if I want to display my images in this fashion, like entire screen is like my entire laptop screen here which I'm showing is divided into rows and columns, and my column count is totals to my column count always should always total to 12. Okay, so let me just show with an example. Okay, let me just cover first breakpoints. What are breakpoints? And then I'll show you an example how it works. So the Bootstrap grid system has 4 classes. Okay, so we have XS, SM, MD, LG, and then these are the 4 default classes which I'm having. Default breakpoints which are having, but we also have extra large, extra large for a big monitor size screens. Okay, so why do I have XS is for phone screens less than 768 pixels wide. I'll be using XS. SM is for tablet screens equal to or greater than 768 pixels wide. MD is for small laptop screens equal to or greater than 992 pixels wide. LG is for laptops and desktop screens equal to or greater than 1200 pixels wide. Okay, and the classes above can be combined to create more dynamic and flexible layouts. Okay, so I'll just show you how this layout is. So for example, this is a sample code for my grid. So what I was mentioning you is, so for example, this is my entire screen. Okay, and for example, I want to write this thing: first program, second program, and third program, example 3 or third. Okay, so I want to write these things in similar equal divisioning. So for example, I want to write here first. Okay, I want to write here first, I want to write here second, and the remaining would be third. So this is my first, this is my second, and this would be my third in my layout. So if I want to use grid, as I told you, like, right, this is my breakpoint which I'm using. So I'm viewing it in a smaller screen. So I'm using SM as my breakpoint. Okay, so here also I'm using SM as my breakpoint, as I told you. And this entire thing is considered as 12. As I told you, my total count is, for example, here I was having 3 divisions: first division, second division, and third division. So here in my first division, I'm writing example 1. In my second division, I'm writing example 2. And in my third division, I'm writing example 3. So how many sections I have to divide my particular screen? So I have divided in 4 4 4. Like I can also have it as like 8. Like I can also have is like whatever is my screen size, it should always total up to 12. So for example, I can have, if I want to divide my screen equally, so I can have a column count of 6 and 6, wherein first program would be displayed here and second program would be displayed here. Okay, any ratio would do, but we always have to make sure that the total count whenever I'm using grid should always be equal to 12. Okay, because the screen size is considered as 12 in grid. And and what happens is horizontal line is my row, and then vertical line is my column. Okay, so herein I'm using columns, and then the ratio which I'm using for my division is 4 4 4 4. Is this concept clear, class, to everyone for grid?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, thank you. And then we have flex. So why do I use flex is like the difference between grid and flex is class. In grid, what I was having is I was having a row and column divisioning, wherein my column count was considered as my screen and the total column count was always up to 12. But in flex, what is happening is we don't have this column counts and all those things. The entire screen is considered as a flex row. Okay. So the Flexbox layout module makes it easier to design responsive layout structure without using float or positioning. So in grid, what was happening was herein I'm using positioning. I'm defining my position as 444 and I'm dividing it. Okay. But in Flex, what happens is I'm not giving any float or I'm not giving any positioning to my web page. I just have to use Flex classes whenever I want to um, use Bootstrap. Okay. So I just have to use Flex classes which are already there, so I'll use that, and no positioning and no column count and row count would be given whenever I'm using Flex. Okay. So Flex utility can be used to manage the layout, alignment, grid, column navigation, and other components of the page. It makes us easy to design layout structure without using float or positioning. Okay. Use Flex classes to control the layout of Bootstrap 4 components, as I told you. So in Flex, the only difference is it is similar to Grid, but it doesn't have any 12 parts or any positioning or any layout or any column count. We don't have to make sure that that column count is 12, or any positioning we don't have to give. We just have to use the flex classes which are having inbuilt in Bootstrap. Okay, so let me just show you. So for example, this is a flex example. So if we see the grid example, if we see the grid example herein, I was having positioning, I was using positioning of 444 and then having a division. But if I see the flex program, I don't have any such thing. I just have a I'm just using default flex classes which are available, and here in d hyphen flex, whenever I'm writing using flex in Bootstrap, I have to use d hyphen flex, and then p3 is my CSS element, background is secondary, text is white. This is just normal. And my items, how I am displaying is using div. So for example, item 123, so how it would be displayed 123, like similar to grid, it would be displayed without using any positioning or anything. We just have to use the default grid classes which are available. So for example, if I want to reverse my content, I can use d hyphen flex, flex hyphen rows, or I can just use reverse class which is available. Or if I want my text to be around, I can use around class, or I can use between, and all those things. Okay. And then this is normal. Like hyperlink is like there's a, you can click on the link and jump to any other document. So I'll just also, this is just normal thing. I'll just show you how do we add hyperlinks in my Bootstrap program. Okay, so let's just move ahead with the labs. Any doubts class anybody is having until now? Like grid, flex,
No,
everything is
ma'am.
clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, thank you so much for confirming. So let me just increase the font size. So I'll include a title. So why do we use doc type is like this shows that this page is an HTML page, and then I'll give a title, Bootstrap grid example. This is a grid program which I'm writing. Okay, and then what I'll do is I'll close my title. And before using title, as we have to use header section of my program. So whenever I'm using Bootstrap class, I have to make sure that I'm importing all the CDNs available on the official website in the header section of my program. Okay, so what I'll do is now I'll import the CDNs available. So we have to go on the official website, we have to copy this CDN, and we have to copy it in, and then we have to paste it here. Yeah. Enter. I have to go again on the official website. I have, and then I'm copying this JS with popper. I have to copy this, go to my page, paste it here. This is clear, class. I have just copied the CDNs available on the website in the header section of my program while using Bootstrap. Okay, and then I'm closing the header section. And in the body section of my program, what I would do is, like as I told you, whenever I'm using grid, I'll be using containers to make my program a bit aligned and to just have a good layout. I'll be using containers. So in the body section, what I'll do is I'll use div, and the keyword for containers was anybody. Whenever I'm using, whenever I want to write, whenever I want to use container, the keyword which I have to use is container. Okay. And then inside my container, what I would do is I would declare a row if class is equal to row. And then let's just, and herein what I'll do is inside my row, what I'll be doing is like I want to give a positioning. Like this is a grid program. This is a grid example. So I want to give a position to all my elements which I am defining in my web page. So for example, let's just create 3 columns. So what I'll have is div class is equal to, and then as I told you, we have to use the breakpoints. Okay, so call hyphen sm is my breakpoint, hyphen the positioning which I have given is 4. Okay. So what will, let's have h2 header, and then inside my header what I can write is example 1. Let's just I don't know what is the issue. Always with my angular brackets it would come out, and then yeah, and then let's just write a paragraph also as I showed you. So inside my paragraph I'll just write anything, and then I'll close my paragraph, and then we have to close the div. And then what I would do class here is, so as I told you, my entire screen is totaled up with 12 positions. Okay, so I'll just copy this and paste 3 times. So here in what I'm doing is I'm creating 4 positions, and then I have like inside my 4 positions the content which I have given is example 1, example 2, and then example 3. Let's have like that. So how it should display is it should come example 1 as here, and then example 2, and then the remaining should be example 3. Okay. So yeah, herein what would I have to do is I have to close one more div for my container, and then one more div for the row. Dash div. This would not come class if you're using Notepad++. It would everything which is having an opening tag, the closing tags come automatically, but it is always better to go harder way. Dash body HTML. Okay. Let me just explain you. So what I have done is inside the header section, I have imported the 2 CDNs available, which were available on the official website in my normal Notepad program, and I have closed the header section of my program. And in the body section of my program, what I have done is I have created a container to align my grid. Okay, and then I have created a row, and then inside my row I have given a positioning of 444 to my columns. Okay, so this is my first column, this is my second column, this is my third column. Okay, and the breakpoints which I have given to my column is sm. As I told you, we have breakpoints in grid, so I can use xs, sm, md, lg, xs, like double xl, all those are breakpoints which are available, but I have used here sm, as small as my breakpoint, and then I have closed my html program. Okay, so let me just save it. Today is Wednesday. Okay, and then I have to save it with .html extension. Okay, and then let's just run it. So if we can see class here, till here it is 4, till here it is 4, and then the remaining is 4. So let me just show you, inspect it and show you how it should look in. Where is the layout one? Yeah, here. So for example, if I want to see the view, how it should look in different screens, so I can just inspect here, and then I can just have how it will look in Galaxy S20. It is having a similar positioning, if you can see. And then if I just have it in iPhone 12, 13 mini, I can have it in Kindle Firefox edition. It would look the exact same way. If I see in Galaxy 20 Ultra Max, if we see in iPhone 12, or if I can see in this. So similarly, you can just try inspecting class and then see how it would look. It would look similar in everywhere. If you can just save this particular program, and then you can just view it on your mobile, or you can just view it in a bigger screen. The visibility and the alignment, the padding which is there here, it would just be similar in all the screens wherever you are viewing. Okay, if I rotate my phone also, it would look similar. And then anything is left, edit list, I can just have anything here, and then I can just inspect my code accordingly. For example, if I want to see in full HD television how it would look, so let me just have here full HD television. It would look the same. If you see, let me just show you. So if you could see the alignment, the padding, everything is just same. Okay, and also you can just see in box model here, how is my border, how is the padding here, whenever you are inspecting your code. Okay, is this clear, class, to everyone?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, thank you for confirming. So what I can do here is I can just, if grid is clear, I can run our Flex program also. So in Flex also class, what I have to do is I would just remove this content here. I'll have a container, and then I'll not have all these things. I have to remove no padding, no alignment. Okay. No. I had to show you another things also. So for example, I would just try to remove this thing, and then what I would do is, what I can do here is I can just have an alignment of 666, positioning of 666, and then see how it looks. Okay. So if you can see till here, it divided my screen into two sections. Till here it is 6, and the remaining it is 6. Okay. It divided into two sections, two equal sections, and then I can also show you. I can have 6 here, and then I can also have like anything I can have, class. I can have 10 here and 2 here. And then we can see. So from here till here it is 10, the remaining is 2. So how much ever positioning you want to give, you can give the positioning, but we always have to make sure that this entire screen totals up to 12, and we have to make sure that we are within that range only. Okay. So where is my program? I would just remove this. Only like this, like what I have to do in Flex, as I told you, I just have to use the Flex classes which are available, and that's it. No positioning, nothing. So inside my container, what I'll do is I will create an header h2 and then Flex example. I can write here. Example, close my header. And then if I'm, as I told you, if I'm creating a Flex, if I'm using Flex, what I have to do is div class is equal to p hyphen flex, and then for my flex row, how do I want to display my flex row? So flex hyphen row, and then I want to display it in a reversal order. So I'm using reverse, reverse. Okay. So this is an inbuilt class available in Flex. There are thousands of classes which are available in Flex. You can just Google them, all of them, and then use according to the need. So herein, I will have three items. Item one, if, and then I can have 2 to 3 items here. Okay. Item four, and then I have to close the div. Okay. And then that's it. So here what I have done is, this is a similar, like for example, any Bootstrap program whichever you want to include, we just have to import the CDNs, and be it grid or flex, we just have it would be similar till this place. It would be similar to this place class, like till the container. Like if I want to use container, I have to declare a container also. So till this place, it would be similar. And coming below in grid also, we just have to make sure that the similar, uh, like the simple structure which I showed you, we just have to remember in grid this much thing only: class is equal to call hyphen sm for the breakpoint. That's it. This is the remembering part. And in flex also, the remembering part is only this much: d hyphen flex. And then, like for example, if I want to display my rows in reversal order, or if I want to have my rows in between of my page, or if I want to have my rows in a round section, for example, equal space in both the places, so I can use, we just have to remember only this much: d hyphen flex, and then flex hyphen row, and then the coming thing, like whatever you want to execute, the fashion you want to have your websites in. So let me just save it. Okay, so let me just remove that flex example. This is entering my page. So what we could see is, like the reason why it came at the extreme end was, like I have used a class flex hyphen reverse. So it came in a reversal order. All my items came in a reversal order. So item one came, like item four came first, item three came second, item two came third, and item one came at last. It displayed all my items in a reversal order of my page. Okay, so let me just have it as an around. So if I have it as around, AROUNT. Let me just save it. So it is just having equal spaces. Okay, have space equally around all of them. And then I can also have between. This is also one flex class available, BET. So yeah, this is how, if I'm using between class, it would be displayed in this manner. Okay, flex class, flex is also clear with everyone. How do I declare a flex class? How do I use different classes in flex? And then let me also show you how do we have a link. So for example, if I want to display a link on my web page, so as I told you, everything would just be similar. Script, I have included the CDNs which were available on the website, and then this is a structure, a href tag is used to have the link of my web page which I am using. So this is the link for Learnovate which I just ran in the last class. So if I just run this one, so how it would display, like herein I'm not using grid, I'm not using anything, I'm just using Bootstrap and a normal program. So if I just click on the link, it would direct me to the Learnovate page. Okay, what I can also have is, I can just copy this, and then I can have it in my, okay, I removed that. Let me see if this was the program. No, we don't have the program. Yeah, so this was the Bootstrap program. So what I can do is, instead of having these things, so for example, if I want to display 2 to 3 links in different sections, so what I can have is, I can just display these links here as a content. Okay, I can just see here, and then this was structure one, right? So I can just display my links like this also. For example, if you have to display three images like this, so you can just have one, two, three, like instead of this link, you can use imgsrc is equal to the image path, and then this thing. And one more thing, class, like this was a doubt which I had in previous sessions also. So whenever you want to display an image to your website, okay, so you always have to make sure that the image which you want to display. So for example, the image which I want to display here is ABC, okay, and if I want to write a program to display a image, so what you have to do here, class, is you have to make sure that this particular image resides in the same file where your program is residing. So for example, this is the program and this is the image which you are displaying. So always make sure that both the things are there in the same folder. Okay. So like there were a lot of people who asked me like how it would have in phone also. So for example, if you're running this particular program in which you want to display the image, okay, but the image is not there in your phone, this program would run as it is. So for example, this content would be there, this link would be there, but for example, if I'm putting an image at the bottom section of my in the bottom section of my website, it would not come because because whenever you are trying to run your program, it would try to search for the image which is there, which you have put in as a path. Okay, so whenever you are running your program, just make sure that the image and the code should always be in the same folder, otherwise the image would not be displayed when you are trying to change the destination. So for example, if I'm trying to change this destination from this bootstrap admin desktop learnovate bootstrap, if I'm trying to put this particular program from here to documents, for example, and the image is not there in documents, so the program would not run. So always make sure that the link that the program and the image, both of them should be there at the same place if you want to have an image, if you want to run the program. Okay, having the image. Okay, everything. Any doubts, class, as of now? Hello, am I
No,
audible?
ma'am.
Yeah. So let me see if I have. Okay, so let me just open this one. So for example, if I want to display a table in grid using Bootstrap, okay, so what I have done is, like, as I showed you the link example also, till here it would be similar. So what I'm doing here is I'm just importing the CDNs which were available on the official website. I have declared a container, and from below it would be just the same. This is a normal table program which I have briefed you in the HTML and CSS class. How do we create a table in HTML? Okay. So this is, if I want to create a table, I have to use a table tag. Okay. And this is a table row. This is the table header which I have given. And this is the table data which I have provided to my table. Okay. To include a table using Bootstrap, to include an image using Bootstrap, everything would just remain same. As I told you, in the header, till the header section of my program, everything would just remain same. We just have to include a container using the keyword container, and the below, whatever is your intention, you can just write. If you want to use grid, you have to make sure that you're using the breakpoint and the positioning. If you want to use flex, you have to make sure that you're using flex classes. Okay, so let me just run this. So this is the table which I have used. This is a normal Bootstrap program. And if I want to inspect it, I can just click on inspect, and herein you'll get a button. You have to click on here, and then you can just see the HD view, how it would look on a bigger screen, how it would look on different screens. And then also you can just debug your code also from here using inspect. Okay, like this. These are the utilities which were included. Okay, if I'm using that particular CDNs available on the websites. Okay, this is a link. These are all just normal things. Any doubts, class, henceforth? Let me come to
No,
it.
ma'am.
Yeah, so you'll get your assignments from your mentors, and in case if you have any doubts, you can just reach out to me anytime. Okay, thank you so much. Have a nice evening.
Thank
Thank
you,
you,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.